Narrated Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu, I said to Allah Apostle sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I heard many narrations from you, but I forget them. Allah Apostle sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, spread your rida, garment. I did accordingly, and then he moved his hand as if filling them with something and emptied them in my rida and then said, take a wrap this sheet over your body. I did it, and after that I never forgot anything. Narrated Ibrahim bin al-Mandar, Ibn Abi Fudayk narrated the same above, but added that the Prophet ﷺ had moved his hand as if filling them with something, and then he emptied them in the rida of Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Narrated Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu, I have memorized two kinds of knowledge from Allah Apostle sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I have propagated one of them to you, and if I propagated the second, then my pharynx throat would be cut. Narrated Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to me during Hujjatul Wida, let the people keep quiet and listen. Then he sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, addressing the people, do not become infidel, revert to disbelief after me, by striking the necks, cutting the throats of one another, killing each other. Narrated Sayyid bin Jubair radiallahu ta'ala anhu, I said to Ibn Abbas, Nauf al-Balaki claims that Moses, the companion of Khidr, was not the Moses of Bani Israel, but he was another Moses. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu remarked that the enemy of Allah, Nauf, was a liar. Narrated Abi bin Ka'b, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, once the Prophet Moses stood up and addressed Bani Israel. He was asked, who is the most learned man amongst the people? He said, I am the most learned. Allah admonished Moses as did not attribute absolute knowledge to him, Allah. So Allah inspired to him, at the junction of two seas, there is slave amongst my slave, who is more learned than you. Moses said, O my Lord, how can I meet him? Allah said, take a fish in a large basket and proceed, and you will find him at the place where you will lost the fish. So Moses set out along with his servant boy Yusha bin Nun and carried a fish in a large basket till they reached a rock, where they laid their heads, lay down and slept. The fish came out of the basket and it took its way into the sea as in a tunnel. So it was an amazing thing for both Moses and his servant boy. They proceeded for the rest of the night and the following day. When the day broke, Moses said to his servant boy, bring us our early meal. No doubt, we have suffered much fatigue in this journey. Moses did not get tired till he passed the place about which he was told. There the servant boy told Moses, do you remember when we betook ourselves to the rock? I indeed forgot the fish. Moses remarked, that is what we have been seeking. So they went back, retracing their footsteps till they reached the rock. There they saw a man covered with a garment, or covering himself with his own garment. Moses greeted him. Al-Khidr replied, saying, how do people greet each other in your land? Moses said, I am Moses. He asked, the Moses of Bani Israel? Moses replied in affirmative and added, may I follow you so that you teach me of that knowledge which you have been taught, Al-Khidr replied, "Verily, you will not be able to remain patient with me, O Moses. I have some of the knowledge of Allah which He has taught me and which you do not know, while you have some knowledge which Allah has taught you which I do not know." Moses said, "Allah willing, you will find me patient, and I will not disobey order of yours." So both of them set out walking along the seashore, as they did not have a boat. In the meantime, a boat passed by them, and they requested the crew of the boat to take them on board. The crew reorganized Al-Khidr and took them on the boat without fear. Then a sparrow came and stood on the edge of the boat and dipped its beak once or twice in the sea. Al-Khidr said, "O Moses, my knowledge and your knowledge have not decreased Allah's knowledge except as much as the sparrow has decreased the water of the sea with its beak." Al-Khidr went to one of the planks of the boat and plucked it out. Moses said, "Their people gave us a free lift, but you have broken their boat and scuttled it so as to drown its people." Al-Khidr replied, "Didn't I tell you that you will not be able to remain patient with me?" Moses said, "Call me not to account for what I forgot." The first excuse of Moses was that he had forgotten. Then they proceeded further and found a boy playing with other boys. Al-Khidr took hold of the boy's head from the top and plucked it out with his head and killed him. Moses said, "Have you killed an innocent soul? Who has killed none?" Al-Khidr replied, "Did I not tell you that you cannot remain patient with me?" Then the boat proceeded till when they came to people of a town. They asked them for food, but they refused to entertain them. Then they found there a wall on the point of collapsing. Al-Khidr repaired it with his own hands. Moses said, "If you had wished, surely you could have taken wages for it." Al-Khidr replied, "This is the parting time between you and me." The Prophet ﷺ said, "May Allah be peaceful to Moses. Would that he could have been more patient to learn more about his story with Al-Khidr." Narrated Abu Musa radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a man came to Prophet ﷺ and asked, "O Allah Apostle ﷺ, what kind of fighting is in Allah's cause?" I ask this, for some of us fight because of being enraged and angry, and some of us the sake of pride and haughtiness. The Prophet ﷺ raised his head as the questioner was standing and said, "He who fights so that Allah's word should be superior, then he fights in Allah's cause." Narrated Abdullah bin Amr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, I saw the Prophet ﷺ near the Jamara, and the people were asking him questions about the religious problem. A man asked, "O Allah Apostle ﷺ, I have slaughtered the hadi animals before doing the rami." The Prophet ﷺ replied, "Do the rami now, and there is no harm." Another person asked, "O Allah Apostle ﷺ, I got my head shaved before slaughtering the animal." The Prophet ﷺ replied, "Do the slaughtering now, and there is no harm." So on that day, when the Prophet ﷺ was asked about anything as regard the ceremonies of Hajj performed before or after its due time, his reply was, "Do it now. There is no harm."